Jai Hind everyone. Today I'm going to read a fantastic book that everybody needs this book. So, because our thoughts are bombarded with a lot of thoughts. How to calm down, how to stop this thinking. This is the real book that I'm going to today. I'm going to start this book. Please and please listen carefully this book, or you may read this book. You can find this book as a PDF form on various sites on Google or Telegram. Go and try to find this PDF and try to read. If you don't want to do if you don't want to do this all the things, to watch this video and try to listen with very carefully. This book is a very fantastic. Today I'm going to read this book. Look at this book. Very fantastic. Calm your thoughts. Calm your how to stop overthinking, stop stressing, stop spiraling and start living. Very lovable book and very need na 100%, like your if you have burning desire to achieve something, you will definitely achieve that thing. So this book is very fantastic, very lovable. So please and please, if you are a young, if you are a boy, man, anybody can listen this book or anybody can watch this video. From today, I will complete this whole book, uh, 186 pages. No worry about that. I will complete all this book. You will find this on YouTube on my channel, and just listen. If you in mp3 format or as a music format, if you are going anywhere, I'm not going to discuss summary of this book. I'm going to read line by line. Don't worry about that. When I will complete this book, also you will complete this book. Don't worry about that I am going to telling about all the summaries. Not at all. Not at all. I will just read what is the written, and I'm not going to discuss about the topic. Not at all. I am just readable. I will only read. You have to understand, and also your listening ability will improve. And when listening ability improves, automates your speaking quality also improve. Okay, so let's further do. We'll start this book. Let's start. So firstly, we will start what is the contents we will read, and first we will read introduction and we will enter the chapter. Every day I will upload for 1 hour, and let's check that how many times it will take. I don't know that how many time it will take. Let me remind everyone, keep in mind my English is not good, so I belongs to Hindi background. So if I will do any wrong in any words or any sentence, please, I'm sorry for that. I'm telling first in the video, I'm very sorry because my English is not as good. जहाँ तक आता है, I can explain, I can read. Okay, so let's start. Let's read the thumbnail of this this book. Calm your mind, calm your thoughts. How to stop overthinking, stop stressing, and stop spiraling and start living. Start living. Wow, that's great. The four essential elements of emotional well-being and happiness. Table of Contents, Chapter 1, Introduction. Why do you get anxious? The science behind your brain's negative bias. It's all about control. Chapter 2, keeping cool, calm, and collected. Regulate emotions. A regulation framework. The ABC loop. Emotional dashboarding. Worry postponement using the 5 ways. Chapter 3, debugging the machine. Distress tolerance. Let's start the introduction. Okay, just look at this uh, content. Okay, chapter 1, introduction. With anxiety, life sometimes feel like a walking nightmare. It's like a wall of negativity is thrown over everything you think, feel, and do. Life can feel cluster, claustrophobic as more and more restrictions seem to interfere, making it hard to spontaneous or relaxed. And the worst thing is you may not even understand why any of it is happening, nor can people around you. It may seem like people explain away your anxiety as a bad attitude to being oversensitive, or simply accept your cheer up because they have thoughtfully explained all the reasons why your fears don't make any logical sense. But it's never that simple, is it? In this book, we are taking a closer look at what anxiety is, how it works, and how you can learn to live a life that feels good. You desired. Experiencing anxiety, stressful, overthinking can feel like a trap, like something you can never escape or fix. But you can, if you are ready to make genuine change, to take care of yourself, and take some powerful first step toward a low anxiety life, then this book is great place to start. First thing First things first, anxiety is a legitimate psychological phenomenon. You are not wrong or stupid or crazy, and you are not a bad person just because you haven't figured out how to free yourself from anxiety yet. I was diagnosed with GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, when I was just 18. Even though, to be honest, the symptoms had been with me long before that. My life was ruled by fear. But today, I can honestly say that I have learned not to let anxiety control me. And one of the first steps to recovering was to let go of the habit of self criticizing, self blame, or feeling shamed about how I was feeling. Now, anxiety is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. When I mean is that I don't choose to have anxiety, but I could always choose to what I took to get of its cults. When I realized that I did have a control over my life and that I had a say in how my life played out, I felt empowered to be better. It was a long, still is, in the bracket, a long, personal and challenging journey, but I don't regret a thing, except perhaps not believing in myself and starting sooner. This book has been written for you if you have reached that point of your life where you feel like anxiety has in your clutch and won't let go. Anxiety is a strange while you desperately try to keep control. You feel more powerless than ever and mercy of a strong negative emotions that never seem to switch off. Many of us have a particular picture of what anxiety looks like, but this picture is bigger than you may realize. Anxiety can play out in our works, lives, causing, causing us to feel self doubt, imposter syndrome, or burnout. It can interfere with our relationships coming between us and the people we love. It can wait for us in the wings, ready to stop us, our efforts and undermine our dreams and goals. Book that is there in our family life with our friends. When we look in the mirror, anxiety is in our thoughts, but it is also in how we feel and in every cell of our body. It is tight muscles, fragile nerves, upset stomachs, sweaty palms, headaches, and allergies. It is lurking. It is lurking in our learned behaviors. Every time we bite our nails, double check in the front door, or turn down an invitation, turn down an invitation. What I am saying is, I don't quite know how anxiety looks like for you personally. I may talk about rumination, regret, low self esteem, bad lifestyle habits, and rotten thinking patterns. Some of these things may apply to you and some less so. The anxiety tree has many branches, but I hope that you read, you can recognize its roots in your own situation. Even it is not exactly the same as mine or people I gave as example. This is book I want to teach you everything I have learned and all the tips, tricks, techniques, and methods I have found to help you build self compassion, upgrade thinking patterns, and take care of yourself, body, and mind. The truth, it will take patience and stepping outside your comfort zone. But you can be a master of your lived experience. And you can absolutely discover joy as in your life again. I know you can. You can because I did. Like any changes in life, it takes time and consistency. It takes courage, however deep and whole you are in. You can climb out one step at a time to live that full, rich, and fearless life you were always meant to be living. Let's dive in. Let's dive in, brother. Why you get anxious? So you are obviously asked yourself, why me? Why do I have suffer anxiety? The truth is that there is no single cause for anxiety, but many interrelated causes that all increases your risk or probability of experiencing overthinking, stress, and tensions. Multiple causes can explain how some solution, that is, meditation or activity, works for some people but not others. We all have our own predispositions, but we are also blessed, however, with protective practice and inner mental resources that help us to push back against anxiety. When these inner sources are overwhelmed or dilapidated, 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 that's when we have a hard time. We will look. We will look at. We'll look at the root cause of anxiety in more detail later on. But for now, here are just a few of other things that control by causing you are ruminate, worry, or overanalyze, you will notice that none of them are reasons to beat yourself up. Remember, it's not your fault. A vicious cycle of learned behavior, you know how it goes. You are anxious, you feel bad about that. You avoid activities which makes you feel worse and develop anxiety about your anxiety. Anxiety is just a hard, a learned behavior and coping mechanism. Just not always the best one. But if you learned that behavior, then guess what? You can unlearn it. A stressful lifestyle, a pushing work schedule, chaotic home life, or grinding financial pressure will take their toll. Are you a workaholic with the insomnia and bad eating habits? Are you in a bad relationship, abusing substance, or dealing with crisis after crisis? It's no surprise you have anxiety. Genes. Yes, there is a hereditary component to anxiety. Having anxiety genes doesn't mean you will develop anxiety, only that you are more vulnerable to it. A tendency doesn't mean your fate is written in a stone thought. What do you inherent from the present? In a potential range, your lifestyle and choices determine where on that range fall. Abuse and trauma, whether that's childhood trauma, a discrete upstream event, or simply the ongoing low-grade trauma of daily life. Trauma is measured on a personal basis. There is no official subjective scale. It is all about what you find overwhelming and effective and feel unable to deal with. Anxiety can be ongoing experience of carrying around unreleased or unprocessed trauma. Trauma can teach us maladaptive behavior patterns that can help us to cope the short term, but not so much in the longer term. Life itself causes anxiety even we are doing everything right. Simply every day, life can be stressful, sad, upsetting, or disappointing. Experiences can worry us. Naturally, a starting or negativity events can make you pessimistic or fearful. Burning out your coping mechanism, being constantly in a psychological fight or flight, more drains your inner sources and leads your panic and eventually shut down. Poor physical health. Your thoughts and feelings come from your brain, which is a part of your body. Body and mind are one interconnected entity. If you are unhealthy, it manifests in an altered neurochemical profile, hormonal imbalances, and heightened biochemicals stress responses, and this feels like anxiety. But lifestyle and the habit change is more effective at finding balance than merely taking meditation for a chemical imbalance, thinking of checking your thyroid reducing substances use, or testing for deficiencies. Stress and anxiety are psychological as well as psychological, uh, sociological as well as psychological. And if you are already in poor health, it's going to be much more difficult to deal with. Dwelling on the past and worrying about the future. This is a mental habit that takes you out of the living present and process forces your attention on what cannot actually be changed, leading to anxiety and paralysis. Negative thought patterns like catastrophizing, ruminating, and blame are similarly disimproving. If we focus on things that we can literally do nothing about, we feel apathetic, powerless, resentful. It is a learned habit to force our focus on those things we can change. The environment. We are all affected by the weather or the people and places we are surrounded with. Seasonal uh, depression or being surrounded by others who are always in floods of anxiety can affect and deeply. If you are like most people with anxiety, the cause of your anxiety is probably a combination of all the above. Is connecting is complicated ways with one another, but this means that we are improve just one area. It usually has a knock-on effect, improving others too. The science behind your brain's negative bias. So you are in bed in the early hours and can't sleep. You keep replaying a painfully embracing moment in your mind when you said something stupid and everyone stared at you in horror. It doesn't matter that this event lasted for seconds and happened more than a decade ago. Your brain is telling you that is absolutely crucial that you mull over it in this instant and decide once and for all whether those people are still all friends with each other and have been secretly talking about you all this time, agreeing on what an idiot you are. You have forgotten all the compliments your coworkers gave you earlier that day, the gift you received from your mom, and the smile from the stranger you passed on the bus. That's all gone. All, all you can see in the horrified looks on your friends' faces from the deep in the past. Why? The answer is that your brain has a built-in bias. To put it very simply, your brain prioritizes negative information. The so-called negativity bias is what it sounds like. We all have an authentic, heightened sensitivity to negative, threatening, or unpleasant data. Dr. John Keshiapo conducted experiments where he showed people various images, natural ones, positive ones, and negative ones, and looked at the electrical activity at the cerebral cortex. He found that the brain always responded with stronger electrical surges to negative images than to positive ones. The theory goes to we evolved this tendency because it helped our ancestors to survive. Any negative stimulus in the environment could well signal a serious threat. So those of our ancestors who were ultra turned into these signals could best evade them and have a survival advantage. You can thank your ancient grandparents of your pessimistic outlook being quick to perceive positive information matters less since it doesn't confer any extra survival advantage, but this mechanism does mean what we are over focus on the bad news and tend to forget about good news. This 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 proportionate emphasis on the negative means that even those of us with objectively good lives can still feel stressed and unhappy. Some researchers suggest that we require a 5-to-1 ratio of good to bad or higher to begin to perceive that good. For example, in a relationship, couples were more likely to rate themselves as overall satisfied if they had this ratio to good to be bad experience feelings with their partner. However, it also explains how someone may not be tempted tempted to stay with their partner if they had an even 50-50 split or negative and positive. What can we infer about the negativity bias? Well, first, that suffering from anxiety, it is not some sign that your brain is broken or that you are doing something wrong. Rather, it's simply a case of your natural and inbuilt negativity bias working against you. If we hope to overcome anxiety, we will need to counter this bias somehow and tip to scales back in the right direction. So tomorrow we will start from here. I have some work, so I have to go there. So don't worry that I will complete this whole book. Don't worry about that. Definitely I'm going to complete this book, okay? Don't be anxious, okay? So if you are listening this video, uh, please share this video that everybody can listen, everybody can read, and also you can read. Then I would suggest don't listen, yeah, please read. If you have if you want to download this PDF, search on Telegram self-improvement books. You will find something channels. Go click and go to the files and download a lot of books you will find on the self-improvement. Not only this book, you will find others also fantastic book, like a lot of books like Rich Dad Poor Dad and Think and Grow Rich. You will find some self you will find some self improvement book. Try to read that books. Try to develop your reading skills, and also your English skills will improve. Sometimes you feel that my reading skills is bad, like me, or maybe you are as you compare to anyone. One day you will realize that your reading skill will be very fantastic. Please keep continue, keep regularly, keep patience, keep consistency. Definitely you will give time to something that will be your, and you will be better in that work. Thank you for watching this video. So tomorrow we will read this topic that I have completed all the introduction and some chapters. So don't worry about that. We will complete tomorrow, and tomorrow we will read this one. Okay. Thank you everyone. भाई छोटे को प्यार दो, बड़ों को सम्मान दो, यही तो लाइफ है. Thank you.